expertise in industrial networks, which is the basis for every digitalization solution. He says, selling a product is just half of the deal. And what the other half means, this is what Tim Pitterling will tell us. He's the head of the vertical sales development. Please come up on stage.
Thank you. Hello everyone here at the Siemens Thought Leaders Forum. I'm very happy to be here, and it's great to see that so many people of you are here today for my presentation. As it has been said, I want to talk about how our expertise in industrial network can make you and your company more successful going forward. So the first question I want to raise to you is, what is driving your business? And the first thing for most people that comes to mind is how to reduce cost. Okay? Why is that so important? We have to reduce cost because that's what keeps us ahead of our competition. And why is that even more important today than it was maybe 20 or 30 years ago? Because of globalization. With globalization, competitors that were in the past far, far away are now right in our backyard and are increasing price pressure on us every day. So this leads me to another topic. So to reduce the cost, we have to be more efficient. So we have to increase productivity. But how do we do that, especially in today's times? And I want to give you an example why I say in today's times. So think car manufacturing. In the past, a car had maybe 30 options you could choose from. Today, customers want options. They want to have sports steering wheel, 20-inch wheels, custom-colored leather seats. So when you all add that up together, that means you're talking about millions of options. So since we are required to deliver these options, we have to do that and have to manage that efficiently. And to do that efficiently, we have to digitalize our production. Otherwise, we cannot do this manufacturing process lean and efficient. So that brings me to the third topic. We still, in these challenging times, we still cannot afford to drop quality one bit. We actually have to increase it. And why is that so important today? Because of all the global media like Facebook, Twitter, if something goes wrong in your manufacturing process, you have to recall a product. Everyone will know about it within seconds. And that's the worst what can happen to any company. So what would you say if I would tell you there's one easy example to answer to these challenges? And that is transparency. Transparency is the prerequisite of being more successful because it allows you to understand at any point in time what orders are coming in. And that helps because then you know also what orders you are shipping. And now that allows you to keep asset low because this is really what's reducing costs today. And now when you bring this knowledge of all the orders coming in and going out, if you bring this knowledge in your production process, you can continuously improve your whole value chain to make yourself and your manufacturing process more efficient. But now certainly, what's the next question? The next question is, how do you get that transparency? And the first thing, what we, from a networking standpoint, always say is, you have to connect your machines together. And the first level is connecting one machine to the next. So that means horizontal integration. And now when you bring this together with your data, then you're connecting all the orders with all your machines and all the shipping processes. That's digitalization, essentially. And now when you go a step further and you bring all this information, our cloud-based IoT operating system, MindSphere, then you can bring all the information from all your manufacturing processes together and continuously improve those and make more educated decisions going forward. So where can this help you already today? This can help you already today when we talk about condition monitoring. How can we be better today with condition monitoring? How did the typical service use case look in the past? In the past, something broke down, then you had to call the guy. He had to get a visa. It took him several days to get to you. And what happened in between? Anyone has an idea what happened? nothing happened because the machine was standing still. You were losing money big time. Today, with digitalization and, for example, MindSphere, you can check continuously of the health status on your machines, so you know if something's going to go break in the future, and you can schedule ahead and have someone on site before something happens. But how do you really do that? How do you ensure that you can benefit of all these digitalization solutions? And that's really the basis for all these digitalization solutions, is having a strong industrial communication network in the background. Because an industrial communication network that is reliable and strong is the basis for all digitalization solutions. But why is that so important today? Because our requirements are increasing very, very quickly on networking. Okay? In the past, maybe 100 megabit was enough. Now, even in manufacturing, we sometimes have to use 10 gigabits. Because we're adding more and more communication equipment. We want to benefit of this digitalization solution. We want to ensure that we have access to all this data, maybe monitor our production process with cameras, but we still have to deliver high performance. So to make this more reliable and future-proof, we have to exactly know what we do. And industrial networks have very, very critical requirements. And I want to discuss those with you now. So normally people say, hey, come on, all networks look the same. Or is there any difference? And I tell you there is. For example, between IT and OT networks. OT stands for operational technology, so our automation space. While in IT, most networks are really similar, follow a similar blueprint. In automation, every network is built exactly to the requirements of the customer, because that's what it has to fulfill. So I want to give you a couple examples, and one of them is high availability, why this is especially important. Just think of that. Normally, when you think of a normal day in the office, sitting at your desk, trying to surf the internet, I guess everyone does that once in a while in the office. 5 minutes downtime, who gets upset? For sure you get upset, but your boss, he doesn't care. He actually is maybe happy that you're working for once. But now, if something doesn't work on your production floor, on your manufacturing floor, your boss will be very upset on that if there is downtime for 5 minutes, because that costs him tons and tons of money. Another example that's a difference is security. While in IT, security is the most important topic for confidentiality. We have to take care of it first for uptime, because uptime is the most important topic, because otherwise, if we don't have uptime, we lose money on the production. So how do we ensure that? By integrating firewalls that are built for the plant floor. Another example, mobile applications. So more and more people want to benefit of driverless forklifts, for example, AGVs, automated guided vehicles, because they are efficient and very productive. So, and they normally operate on Wi-Fi. So who has tried the Wi-Fi on a fair before? Who has done that? I'm sure some people have done that. And was it great? No, it was not great. I see a couple people doing that. No, it was not great. Because there's too much going on. There's too much noise. It takes forever. It's slow. Would you trust now such an installation to run your AGVs off? I wouldn't. But we at Siemens, we have developed protocols like IPCF that allow that we can do real-time deterministic Wi-Fi on the plant floor, because we know that space very well. And then the last topic I want to bring up is flexibility. Flexibility allows us to use modular devices, okay? With modular devices, you can adjust your production process while the process is running, okay? If you have devices that are not flexible, you have to shut down production to exchange a device, or maybe to add another line. And that is very, very bad, because shutting down means what? Losing money. With our devices, you can, for example, add a couple extra fiber ports or switch from copper to fiber without having to restart the device. So that means you're not losing any minute of production time. So in the end, a modular device costs maybe a little bit more, but in the long run, buying a non-modular wasn't the greatest decision after all. So, But now we talked about individual products. Now I want to talk about what else you need. And what else you need is, you need a well thought through concept that allows you to fulfill your whole automation task, especially in these challenging times of digitalization. So the perfect network, in our opinion, has 3 layers, essentially. One layer shows the enterprise network, so the IT network. And that is in full responsibility of the IT. That's where you have your internet breakout. That's where you have the cloud connectivity, for example. That's where you have your office network. And then you have 2 more layers. You have the production backbone, and you have the production and cell level. That's what you can see on the screen right now. So why is this below part so important for us? Because this is where we fulfill our automation task. And that is why it's in responsibility of the automation. So I want to give a couple examples why that is important. So for example, you cannot afford a single error there that brings the network down. So you need to work with redundancy. Then you also have to work with topics like this Wi-Fi to have that redundant. You need to have an industrial network monitoring that maintenance staff can understand. And then this network should be system tested together with SCADA and automation so that it can deliver on the automation task. And now, in these times of digitalization, we recommend this production backbone right here as an additional, or as the second layer that allows us to really fulfill this aggregation of all these complex automation tasks. So this picture now showed a factory automation network. But we have many, many more concepts for various other industries as well, like electric power, oil and gas, process automation, food and bev, and many more. But that's not all you need, okay? So now we talked about having the right products, because that's important. We talked about having the right concept. And all of that we have globally available from Siemens. But you also need the right training. So we have the right training and certification classes that allows your engineers to come as good as ours are. Or we have professional services that can help you deliver the right design, configuration, and planning right with you on site. And if that's not enough, we have a global partner network of expert partners that can even be in your day-to-day operations with you and ensure that everything is working. So why do we know that at Siemens? Because we are a manufacturer like many of you are. We learned for 25 years how to do industrial communication right for automation. And that's why we are the right network solution provider for you. So that being said, I want to close with, let us help you build the digitalization base to drive towards digitalization. Because we understand industrial communication. We understand digitalization and connect you to the MindSphere. We understand your industry. And we have a proven track record. So if you want to know more about this, come see us at the Industrial Communication booth. We are happy to discuss more with you there. Thank you very much.
All right, Tim, thank you very much. Great presentation, Industrial Networks. Did you, ladies and gentlemen, now get the other part of what's important about selling your things?
Yeah.
Well, if not, you can ask in detail now with Tim. Tim, where can we find you on the booth here?
We can right down at the foot of the MindSphere, essentially, because we get you to the MindSphere.
That's a good topic for me. Thank you very much, Tim. Yeah, the MindSphere. Big hand of applause.